I don't know why the weed whacker starts precisely at noon, but they do.
They just wait. They go, it's
I
time.
don't even care. So, hi, everybody. So, the lawn guys decided to show up right at noon today. So
on cue.
5 minutes,
synchronistically.
In 5 minutes, we won't care. So, hi, everybody. Welcome in. Indy and I always come up a little early. We talk to each other and stuff. We want to share with you just the very interesting thing that is really going on between the two of us, just as like we go apart, we come together, we go apart, we come together based on the vibration, based on the lessons we're learning, and based on the things we have to learn. And, really, India, I'm so grateful because every time we do one of these or every time we come together, it is all super profound for me.
And I feel so much the same way. And I love how you just put it, because it is like we're sent divinely on these different paths. And then at key points, it really is divine, because we won't have talked for a while. And then at key points, the divine aligns us, brings us together. And then, we were just talking about how we get to connect here. And there's different pieces of the puzzle that we each get to bring together.
I think it's great. Yeah. So, hello, welcome to Lionsgate, everybody. This is actually, we've been in Lionsgate since the 26th, I think, of July. But for those of you who don't know what Lionsgate really is, it is a portal. It is the star Sirius and Earth and Moon all sort of triangulating, creating this opening for spiritual awakening, spiritual opening, downloads, really understanding where you are, purging, letting things go. And as India so adeptly puts it, really being in alignment with your vibration, but really being in alignment with God. That's really the key to manifesting whatever you want right now. This is a super powerful day. That's why we're doing this today. August 8th is the height of the energy. And so being in alignment with that very high vibrational energy. So even walking away from things, I know I did readings for August 9th this morning for tomorrow. A lot of it is about walking away from things that are not in alignment with you. And if they are in low vibration, understanding you being in a high vibration and really walking away from those things and it's just not for you, right? Just being in alignment. And so I got a really good question. I'm going to start doing more videos around the questions I receive from people, also that are in the Facebook group. When I'm seeing sort of the same questions a couple of times. So I'm going to, hi, Weed Whacker. So I'm going to want to do these sort of evergreen videos, I call them, because they're not really dated. They're things you can watch, a year from now, and they'd still be relevant. So one of the questions I received is, I always talk about being in high vibration, and this is the day of high vibration. So the person asked me, how do I raise my vibration? Like, that's all good. Like, I hear you, get you, like, but how do I do that? Like, when I'm in that spinning place in the middle of the night, when I'm in this anxiety place, when I'm in this depressive place, when I'm in this low vibration, when I'm feeling myself, maybe I've watched a little bit too much television, or I've watched a little bit of too much low vibration television, or something along those lines. Or I'm around, is it Ram Dass that said, like, you think you're healthy and healed, just go spend a weekend with your family and see what happens.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? Something like that. Like, or go spend a weekend around people are like in your life, and it's always a struggle for you. You'll see like what the low vibration feels like. So I'm just gonna give you a quick rundown. I might make another video that has this title in it about how to get in high vibration. And there's a couple of things that are running ways of keeping in high vibration. But then there's like the triage. There's like the 911 call of like, how do I get there if I'm in this, awful place or low vibration place. So,
and Mary Jo, I'm so glad you're doing this, because like you just said, today is the day. It's like, if you have never done this before, where you're completely aligning your thoughts, words, actions, interactions, every step with what you do, believe and desire and you intend. If you've never done it before, today is the day to just make sure that every single thing is in alignment, because it is such powerful energy. And I'm just getting so much, so many messages about that, where it's like, just forget about before, forget about later, just focus today on what you are, because that's what you're going to see.
Amen to that, India. And I also really enjoy doing the readings with you and things, because I say something one way and you say a very similar thing a different way. And so different people hear different things. Some people hear you, some people hear me, and I feel like the complementary piece is important.
And isn't that divine?
Yes, it is. It truly is. So a couple of things that you want to regularly do to stay in vibration, independent of August 8th, right? Some of the things you want to stay in vibration is to really do your meditation practice regularly. All right, have a thing. I get up. I didn't even realize I was really doing this because I am, as you might tell, I have a lot of stuff going on in my head. I'm primarily an air sign. I'm a Gemini moon and Libra rising, even though I'm a Sag. But that air sign, I really get up in my head. So I have a very hard time meditating. You know, full disclosure, I really do. When I can do it, it's wow, like that's amazing. But in the morning, I will get up and I will do a reading for myself, and I will meditate on the cards, and I will ask the questions, and I will hear my guidance, and I will sort of do this sort of walking, talking, breathing, open eyes, watching stuff, writing in my journal, kind of meditating, which is kind of my own brand of what I've been doing since I was in 7th grade. I've had journals since I was in 7th grade, and I didn't realize that that was meditating. So there's a lot of different ways to meditate, but that really keeping yourself in alignment with guidance, right? You co-create with the universe. So you're asking for things, you're being in alignment with the things you want. Very high vibration love, very high vibration abundance, really keeping the flow. I'm getting total goosebumps on this, Indy. Really,
Yeah, me too.
Total goosebumps here. Keeping that flow going and just being like, wow, this is awesome.
And that's so perfect, Mary Jo, because it is a conversation. It's like you're talking about, you know, people think, oh, I have to do this all on my own. I have to intend and meditate and manifest. It's not on your own. It's a conversation. So it's like, even if it's just talking to your team, to God, to your higher self, and saying, thank you that, and not I want this, but, you know, and please bring me this, but thank you that I am in complete vibration with love. Thank you that joy is coming in all the time. Thank you that I'm expanding in abundance. And thank you that like all this is happening, because you're making that your reality. You're confirming that with the divine. And then the universe, the divine, is like, yes, and brings more of that, which is why they say worrying is meditating on what you don't want, because you're saying, this is what I don't want. But yet that's beautiful. That walking, talking thing is amazing, Mary Jo. Yes.
It is like, that is the key. Like whenever I was, you know, oh, I can't meditate, I don't know how to do that. Well, you can. You just have maybe your own way about it, and being cool with the fact that you have your own way about it. And then India, what you just said sort of like ropes in these other two things about gratitude and mindfulness, which are whenever you get a chance of like, even when something, like you said, India, when we're talking about Abraham Hicks talking about missing a plane, and then like, oh, well, what's coming? Instead of like, oh, you know, like really being frustrated, being in alignment with the fact that that missed plane could put you in line with what you've been manifesting. So be open-minded about how these things come in, because that's where I think a lot of us get in trouble. We think we know what it's going to look like.
Exactly.
Right? We think we know what it's going to look like. And the truth is like, just allow yourself to have some things come in completely unexpected ways. You know, when we get the 4 of Wands, I always see relationship. And sometimes I forget to say, hey, this is a surprise. Sometimes the 4 of Wands can be a surprise. Okay, so just be mindful of that. So
because you know, the best things in life are those things where you say, oh my God, this is better than I ever could have imagined. That's because it's divine. We can't imagine the ways that God can bring in what we're asking for. So let's don't even try. Let's do try, but like, let's don't limit it to that. Yes, imagine it, but then say, and God, thank you that you're making this even more amazing than I can imagine.
So that's incredible, because really it is the gratitude thing. I mean, of all the things I'm just saying to you, drink water, meditate regularly, you know, do these kinds of things, drink water, of course, drink water all the time, drink water all the time. But when we're talking about that, it's really the gratitude piece to me is the thing that brings it into alignment with your highest, what's for your highest good, right? These things, a lot of times when I try to manifest, when I manifest, it is like, I'm asking for an experience, I'm asking for love or whatever. And I'm saying, however it comes to me, it could be this person or it could be somebody better for me, right? Like I'm open to the possibilities. So gratitude and mindfulness are two sides of the same coin here, where mindfulness is like really being in the moment. And I think that's what India just was talking about a bit ago, where we're like staying in the moment and the energy of that is connected to aligning with what's going on. Because if you're completely future focused or completely past focused, you're not here in the moment. And that is sapping you of energy that is going toward what you're bringing to yourself. So just be very mindful, right? Mindful and gratitude, meditate. The fourth thing is drink water all the time. Just want to make sure. And as a corollary, focus. I'm really starting to focus more about the food I'm putting in myself. I'm starting to look at some of these things. And this all has to do with raising your vibration, because drinking water, you're essentially 98% water. So you're bringing in goodness, you're bringing in more of that energy to you, and it's cleansing you. It's also cleansing your body of toxins and things that do need to go. And then in terms of your food, it's like paying attention to what you're eating, something that is as close to it coming out of the ground, right, or being natural as possible. The more processed your food is, the less natural it is. You want to really work on that. And, you know, I am moving toward vegetarian. I'm moving toward vegan. I'm moving in that direction because I'm seeing that as I'm raising my vibration, my body is wanting more healthy, right, is wanting more healthy things. So I'm doing
it's the same. And when you say, Mary Jo, that it's the same, whether it's food, water, the air you're breathing, or energy, you know, like you're saying,
Yes.
removing yourself, you know, not being around that energy that's not in resonance with what you do want. And you can feel it more and more pronounced. It's like we were talking about before we came on about how that middle ground is disappearing. There used to be this kind of middle ground where it's like, I can kind of be in high vibration and then I can hang out with these people and eat these foods and whatever, I'm fine. And now what's happening is it is becoming so in tune that you're in such a high vibration, if you're watching this, that the things that are not in vibration with that, if the chasm is growing wider and wider, you can't just hang out with that sometimes and then go back to your normal. No. It's all high vibration all the time. So it's like you're talking about food. If you go vegan, if you go vegetarian, that there comes a point where that's where you have to eat or you're going to get sick. That's what's happening energetically. You are at a high vibration, you know, diet, if you will, where if you dip into low vibration, it's going to make you sick. It's going to pull you up.
I was talking, Indy, I don't know, I didn't share this with you before we came on, but I was talking with a friend of mine yesterday, and he's one of the people that I have had low vibration connection with for a very long time, most of my life. And he's talking about how he wanted to do this carnival eats kind of thing, all the deep fried Oreo cookies and all this kind of stuff. And I was just like, I was sitting there just going like, oh, like I just wanted to run away from that. Really.
That's a great metaphor. It's a great metaphor for everything we're talking about. Energy, yes. Everything. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I was just like, I mean, it was fun to talk about. He was talking about this like carnival eats kind of thing. And I was just like, okay. But like in practice for me, I was like, I sat there going, I will never be around that. Like that will never be in my experience. If you want to do that, 100% like do what you want. But I'm just, for myself, I knew I was in a different kind of vibration.
It's lost its appeal. It's lost its appeal. And that's what happens energetically because, you know, you think about the relationships, the dynamics, the triggering things that used to have a pull. It used to pull you in. If you know that the reason it used to pull you in, that person, maybe even your divine partner in that certain time, that reason that dynamic pulled you in was because there was something that was needing to come out, be healed, be illuminated. There was something, you know, pulling it in. Now that that's healed, illuminated, no longer needs to be addressed. The pull is not there. The draw is not there. And what you're in vibration with, sure, it may come in the reincarnated form of that being, whatever, but you're no longer pulled to those old patterns. So that's going to be the case no matter who it is, or even if it's something you used to do by yourself that no longer holds the appeal, like the food thing. It's just not going to have that hold on you anymore.
I love it. And I'm starting to see it. I'd love to hear from you guys as you're watching this about the things that you know that at one point were fine. And fine's a 4-letter word in my opinion. But, you know, it was okay in your life. Like, you know, I know a lot of you know I used to work in the news business. And so I can only take in small amounts. I sometimes just use Twitter or just to see what's happening because I do have some interest in that. But man, that my news diet is, I haven't watched a news program. I haven't watched local news in 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years. And I used to work in local news, and I just can't.
And if you were forced to sit down and do that now, it would be like that Clockwork Orange, where it was like you have to hold your eyes open.
It's so painful. And, you know, God love those people, you know, doing that very difficult work in a very difficult time, and God love them. And I think they really, you know, it's all shifting. My point is, even that business is shifting radically into something that's going to be high vibration or low vibration. All right, just saying. So that's a talk for another day, because I really do want to talk about media, just because that I know that's one of my things here, but that's not for today. So the other two things I want to say before I get to the triage of like the middle of the night stuff, this regular everyday kind of thing is about taking walks out in nature, about being out in nature more. And then also I like, there's a friend of mine who wrote a book about something called earthing, which I have really practiced and really tried to practice, which is basically like taking your freaking shoes off and going out and putting your feet in the sand, putting your feet in the earth, right? Standing in the grass, toes in the grass. You know, snow, when we have snow, you know, you're removed a lot from nature. You're really locking yourself away from a lot of it. But going out in the wintertime is sometimes so invigorating to me, taking walks in nature during winter, because of the difference in vibration, right? A lot of the animals are hibernating, you're not seeing them, and it's peaceful. There's very peaceful energy. In the summertime, there's, you know, all kinds of activity going on. But earthing is really about putting your feet next to the earth and feeling the energy coming from the earth, right? This whole Gaia concept of how things are being moved forward. And like India said, everything is becoming separated. So you're going to be low vibration or high vibration. And I think I've told this story before about my mom when she was passing away, that when she was dying, she said to me, she died when she was 89. And when she was 87, she said, you know, they come for you a couple times. If you're dying a natural death, they come for you a couple times and say, are you ready? And a couple times she was like, no. And then what she said, and one day I know it's not going to be my choice anymore. And so even people who pass into that other realm of energy in a very abrupt way may have had a couple of, hey, we're coming for you kind of things, but they weren't in vibration. They didn't know. They weren't connected to anything. So she said that to me, and I take that very seriously, and I listen to my guides every day, and that just being in that communication raises your vibration. So I have a couple of things. These are special things for when you are in it, okay? When you're in super low vibration, when you're just like spinning and your energy seems to be spiraling and you're just like, stop. You want to just stick a stick in the bicycle spoke and stop it. Even if it means you're like ass over tea kettle over that bike, right? You're just like, no, I cannot keep going. So in the middle of the night, it's happened to me, it's happened to the best of us, right? Where your brain just will not shut off. So these are the things that I have done that I recommend. I listen to something uplifting, music. I listen to a video of somebody who's inspiring to me, right? Not so much. I used to do sort of like how-tos because I'm a big learner, lifelong learner. I love learning new stuff. And that is high vibration for me. But sometimes it gets my brain working too much in the middle of the night, and then that I can't get back to sleep. So there's a lot of really good, and I will put this out there, vibrational music tracks, 2 hours, 3 hours. They're all on YouTube, you know, to raise your vibration. You can just search for it, raise my vibration music, and see what you get. Because there's lots of really great stuff out there. And some of it is actually like 2 and 3 hours. So it'll get you back to sleep in a high vibration, which is great. Listening to music. I have done the midnight cleaning with music on. I have done that. And it, to me, I just am like, oh, you know, this is fun. If it's fun, don't get up and start doing the whole, like, I got to clean the house thing if it puts you in a lower vibration. Right? It might change your mind. It might move your mind. It might move you away. But if that's not fun for you, then you're just trading one for another. Okay? So that might not be a good thing. But I like to get up and dance. Music awesome stuff, you know, Katrina and the Waves, Walking on Sunshine. I like all that kind of like high vibration music, whatever you like, B-52s, Rome if you want to, like those kind of things for me. That's for me. And I'm just like, I love it. I'm sure.
And just releasing yourself from the thing of like, oh, I should be sleeping right now. I have to be sleeping. I'm not sleeping. Just releasing yourself from that is enough, because obviously, you know, you're not supposed to be sleeping in that moment. So just, you know, go with that. It's the fighting it of like, why aren't I asleep? I should be sleeping. Why is my mind, you know, and resisting, like, instead of resisting, like, oh, I'm not sleeping, I'm not peaceful. Oh no. Be like, okay, what am I feeling? Maybe let's just actually feel this. What else do I have to do? Like, I'm going to dive in and feel this and ugly cry or whatever has to happen, and just release it. Ask your guides, you know, please help take this from me, bring me more clarity. But that, what Mary Jo is saying so beautifully, release the resistance of like, just do it. Just get up and do whatever you're being guided to do.
Whatever. I like that, releasing the resistance, because that's really the problem. And I always feel that way about the word should.
Yeah.
I really feel that way about the word should. And I like what you just said, India, because I feel like, you know, going into the feelings is good too. That's a really awesome thing to do, is go into the feelings. And so when you're purging the feeling, when the feeling comes up and comes out, it's like, it's a relief and a release.
Like having to throw up and you're laying there going, I mean, it's kind of gross, but it's like when you're laying there, I'm not going to throw up. I'm not going to throw up.
I hate that. I don't want to do
I know. But then when you do afterwards, it's like, oh,
okay, well.
Thank God.
Okay, no. So that would not be my choice. If I'm in high vibration about throwing up, that would not be my choice. But okay. You know,
but I'm focusing on the after. I'm focusing on the after feeling.
high vibration about throwing up.
I know that's really not a high vibration. Throwing up's not technically a high vibration activity, but you get where I'm going.
All right, so let's talk about cooking now. Because
let's do that. Food.
All right, so following the throwing up with cooking. No, don't do that.
Sorry.
One of the things that makes me, this is again, like what I'm saying to you is, what is your personal fill in the blank here? What is your personal own high vibration? One of the high vibration things I do is cook. Okay, my mom was a chef. I love to cook. That's when all the teachable moments in our house happen. Hey, did I ever teach you how to? Oh, Mom. Okay. So I go in the kitchen and she drops them in boiling water for 2 seconds, takes them out. Here comes the skin. And we sit there and we talk for an hour, right? And the lessons flow. And those were always tremendously grounding activities for me. But I also took the lesson of the cooking part is fun. It left me with the vibration of joy, because she felt joy cooking. The kitchen was the place to be, right? She would set me in front of the refrigerator and say, okay, what's for dinner? No getting anything from the market today. We're not going to the market. It was like, maybe she was kind of lazy that day, but it's a great skill to have. What can I make with what's in that refrigerator? And it just gets me out of myself. It gets me away from the stuff. So cooking for me is good. Also doing something creative. I like calligraphy. I like painting. I like drawing. I like taking pictures. Something that you like that's creative, clay or whatever you find to be creative, okay? Whatever you find to be creative. Also, like, this is the one I want to leave you with, and we'll move into the readings right now, but the thing that I have really embraced and want to share, that the last thing here is about helping somebody else. I feel I've never felt so high vibration when the legit thing presents itself to help somebody else, not to my detriment, for all you codependents out there, not to my detriment, not to negatively pull energy away from me to help somebody else, but really being in the energy of positive, powerful generosity and helping somebody else for no other reason that you just were in that vibration of helping somebody else. And that's
allowing the divine to move through you, allowing the divine to use you as a tool to do that work. Yeah.
Absolutely. And, you know, I know codependents can get in trouble with that, like trying to help everybody else, giving away money, giving away stuff, giving away energy, blah, 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 and you don't have any for yourself. This is one of the lessons, and this is a great transition actually into doing the reading, because it is one of those lessons of like, you know, you put your mask on first, you fill your own cup first, you do what's good for you first, okay? And my lesson growing up was, that's selfish. Right? And so a lot of the lesson of my life has been to hear those messages and be like, no, not really, not at all. That was a way of other people continuing to have me do things that were draining to me, but beneficial to them. So, you know, and look, they're not all evil, mean people. It's not really about that. It's not like everybody who's around you needs to be cut off and sent away on an iceberg or anything. But what I'm trying to say to you is being in your healthy balance and feeding yourself and having a cup that runneth over. So you're loving yourself and now you're able, right? You're able to go and take care of something for somebody. And
the really simple image they always show me is you want to be a fountain, not a well. A well can be dry. It takes a long time to fill up, and then it can be run dry. If enough people come to that well and draw from it in that period of time, it's going to go dry, and then it's going to take a long time to fill up again. And that's how many of us have lived our lives in the past. But you want to be a fountain where you're being continuously replenished with no break of that, and even flow, and yet you're still distributing the water constantly. Someone can still come up and take some. It's not going to deplete that flow.
I love that so much, India, and I wrote it down, and I want to say to you, that goes into the file with the lighthouse story, right? Being the lighthouse, not the lighthouse.
Yeah,
we come across these great metaphors.
They're divine. I mean, they're the divine's big book of metaphors that the angels give us. I mean, it's just like completely divine. It's amazing.
Totally. And when we're doing the tarot classes later this year and stuff, I want to make sure that when I'm telling these stories, it's like, these are my metaphors. You can use them as you wish, or these are India's metaphors, but you're going to develop your own metaphors, right?
And honestly, they're really not mine or yours. They're truly the universe's. They're the divines. We get to be the one that it's being flowed through. And also, that's an excellent point, Mary Jo, that you brought up, because many people watching this, you're being activated in your purpose. You're giving guidance to others. I'm getting some spirit confirmation right now on that when I said that. So got the energy, which means many of you watching this, you're moving into doing readings. You're moving into being a coach. You're moving into just guiding those who are around you. When you flow through, if you heard someone else give that guidance, give it. It's fine. It's divine. What I've been given so many times is when you're all working in the light, when we're all working in the light, when Mary Jo and I are all working in the light, there's no overshadowing because it's all light. It's all divine. So it does not matter whether it flows through me, Mary Jo, or you, or who. It's amazing.
That's right. And it is like, many hands make light work. We're all here. If you're watching this, you're part of divine guidance. You're part, what just India just said. And so we're all working to go, if we're all rowing the boat, we get there a lot faster. So, all right. So I want to move into doing a reading for the collective on Lionsgate. This is High Vibration Day, and I'm going to toss it to India in a second for her beautiful reading, which always is. And what I want to share is I will also be putting India's information in the description box, so you can all have that. And India, if you want to just tell people how to get a hold of you.
Oh, thank you. That's wonderful. Thank you. That's wonderful. On YouTube, it's just India Lee, and you can find me on Instagram at India4777. Thank you.
India Lee, Leigh.
Oh, thank you. Yes, Leigh.
Leigh. Okay, cool. So let's do this. I'm going to do just a reading here about what's going on for the collective. And wow. Oh gosh, this card has come out a bunch of times today, India, when I was doing the general reads. It is about moving from a situation that isn't serving you to a better one. And it is, I like that the three people are in the boat together. So it is about, we're in the same boat, excuse me, and about actually making an active choice around this, to move forward together, to be in harmony with what is the energy that is going on right now. So, wow, it's, I shouldn't be so surprised. You know what I mean? But I am always.
It's funny. I just said yesterday to a friend that it's not surprising anymore, but it's always awe-inspiring. It's like we're always in awe and wonder, but not shocked and surprised. It's just like, wow, a constant state of awe. When
it is just like, let it be. Okay, so, all right. So this is the overarching energy, another 6, not surprising again, of this reading, 6 of Swords, 6 of Cups. So moving forward into a place of harmony and peace. But you're not getting off scot-free, because there's some things that do need to be purged. There's some things going into this high vibration. Necessarily, other people may go. Okay? And your divine masculine or divine feminine, however the energy is balancing, whichever one you term yourself as, the feeling for me here is you are leading. And we said this, I think, back in November, India, about one of us is leading. Usually the divine feminine is leading this. And sometimes it's like a shove, not a gentle reminder that you need to be leading this. And that other person may separate from you for a time, but they will come back together. So here's what I'm getting here, which is about knowing your self-worth and value and leaving anything behind that is not. Right? If there's a, and that might cause some disappointment, 5 of Cups. It may cause some disappointment, some hurt. You may feel hurt by that. You may feel like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I can't leave this person behind because they're my divine partner. But trust me when I say that doing what is in your highest vibration and doing what is in your highest good is also for the highest good of this other person. Okay? Even if on the 3D, you're not seeing that, don't be fooled. Okay, don't be fooled. You're energetically leading this person.
And really, I know this can sound pretty, trippy-dippy, but timelines are collapsing. Time is losing its meaning. The Lion's Gate is all about this, where the dimensions are coming together, where it's like everything's on the same plane. And I know, this is the mind will want to wrestle with that. But what that means is you can release where someone is in the physical, in the 3D. You can say, okay, that 3D package that person's currently walking around in no longer serves me on this timeline, but that doesn't mean you're abandoning all hope of, connecting with that person because if you are connected with them on a soul level, all the time, space, when, where truly ceases to matter. And you feel this connection that is there. And when you're really in alignment, you just know that's going to manifest in the physical at some point in time, which is irrelevant, but it's just going to happen. It's inevitable. So then that makes it easier to release what's happening in the 3D right now that's not serving you.
And it does feel, I got another 6 here. Okay, 6 of 1. I got all the 6s. Okay. Wow. And so what I usually say is the lovers will be coming, right? Yeah. That whenever I get 3 or 4 of them, 3 or 4 10s, 3 or 4, whatever, a little tarot lesson, I always say, the one that's missing is the one that's most important, okay? And 6 is the major arcana. 6 is the lovers, and that is missing right now. So if it comes out in the rest of this reading, we'll see. But it feels like your person is this is a Taurus energy, very grounded into pentacles and earth, 3D, walking around in that 3D package, which is what India just said. And feeling 6 of Wands, sort of feeling like they're waging a battle on a different front here. They're winning. They're coming into alignment with an earth or a physical pentacle kind of experience. So maybe they're getting a promotion or something like that, and all of their energy is focused on this earth thing, right? Not really focused on the spiritual connection, which is an explanation a little bit about like you being more in the spiritual, and you're like, okay, well, you know what? They're here, but they're, on their 3D plane, they're really not paying attention. They're still stuck in timelines. They're still stuck in some other stuff. So it does require 10 of Swords, Page of Wands. It does require you right now to be like, good. I'm going to follow my guidance. I'm going to follow my alignment. I'm going to be in that alignment. And then the lovers is going to show up eventually, right? Who cares? Because this is a trust thing,
And the brighter you shine, the more that light can be followed by that partner. So the brighter you're shining, when that partner gets complete with the 3D experience they're having, they look up, they see that bright light, they know what direction to go in.
That's the lighthouse. That's the lighthouse, right?
That's the lighthouse. Brighter and brighter.
And there's something here about the reason that your person, your divine masculine, your divine feminine, whichever one, you know, we sort of float back and forth. I feel like I'm divine masculine, right? Divine feminine. It's really about balancing the energy. So don't get too lost in the labels, all right? But your divine partner here, it is about being more balanced. There's something here about balancing. I feel like part of the mission, and I think I said this the other day, I did a video about mission, is about combining the spiritual with the physical. It is about utilizing your spiritual guide or spiritual mission and using the tools of the earth plane to really do that. Now, this relationship out of balance right now, okay? This relationship looks to me very out of balance. It feels to me like the one who feels like they know their value and they're escaping from the situation and they feel a little bit like sad about it, the other person isn't really paying attention to that. It feels a little bit of like, you know, maybe they're just like, look at me, how awesome I am. I'm getting a promotion. I'm doing this other stuff. And they're feeling a little out of alignment with this right now. You are just going toward being in more alignment with who you are, with your spiritual mission. They'll catch up. They'll catch up. Don't worry about it. So let's get some blocks here. What are the blocks that you're facing? Yeah, holding on to the physical. And physical also in terms of sex, in terms of any kind of manifestation on the 3D plane that isn't serving the higher purpose of this relationship. So for some of you, I know because I've heard from some of you, have been offered this Knight of Wands feeling, which is like, oh, this guy to me is like a one-night stand guy. And that energy isn't really in alignment with the higher purpose of the connection, although it is a portal, and feeling like holding on to money, holding on to earth-based things, those are blocks. I feel like you're moving toward, at least spiritually with this other person, they're stuck. They're a little bit stuck here. So actions you can take here about, you know, what you're doing, and you might be feeling, to your point, India, I almost called you Emily. To your point, India, because I was talking to Emily just the other day, and she's really making a huge impact on me as well. Hi, Emily.
Hey, Emily.
It is about what you just said about going into the feelings. This 5 of Cups card feels like not running away from the feelings, but this is an escape card. Don't get me wrong. The 7 of Swords is an escape card. And if you're feeling like the relationship has devolved into something like this, where it's like an escape from whatever needs to be happening with that other person, that's not high vibration. And so not really being in that and feeling like, oh, you know, I'm really not going to be okay with that can feel a little bit upsetting to you because you really want to be with this person, right?
Well, and really, Mary Jo, it's like, you know, so much energy has been focused on, I want to be with someone, I want to be with someone. And like we said, the universe is listening. So if you're saying, I want to manifest being with someone, I want to manifest being in a romantic relationship, a sexual relationship, a physical relationship. And if it's not a complete vibration of like, and I want it to be in love and deep connection and soulfulness and fulfillment, then the universe will bring you, because you're asking for a relationship, a sexual relationship. And it may or may not be the end all be all, because you've manifested, because you're a very powerful manifester, someone. So someone has come in. And, you know, that someone may or may not be, you know, so it's just time to look and go, oh, wow, I brought that in. You know, what do I want to bring in next? I want to bring in that love, that soulful connection.
Well, to your point, this is the 3 of Wands is manifesting. We know that, right? 3 of Wands is manifesting, and the universe providing you with what you're asking for. So there is a little bit of be careful for what you wish here. Okay, there's a little bit of that, like, oh, you know what? Yeah. I'm asking for being in a relationship with this person, but if they're not ready or if they're in a low vibration, no, because I'm really asking for the big vibration, the high vibration. I'm asking for, right? the highest vibration. Ace of Pentacles to me is
Yeah.
abundance, love, being in full-on relationship that is of higher, because look at the mountains back here. It's sort of like what is the biggest, what is the best,
Yeah.
right? What is your, the universe is almost like pushing you also to stop, stop thinking small.
Yes.
Start thinking big. Think really big. I mean, a lot of people I talk to, we talk about their work or money, abundance too. We're talking about that too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I just want enough to pay my bills, and I just really want to, and I'm just like, you can manifest anything you want, and you're like, I just want a couple of $100 for Comcast. Really? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, and people get tripped up because they're like, well, I'm not that powerful, or I can do that. Yeah, that's right. That's absolutely right. You're not. But the divine is. And you're taking the limits off what the divine can do through you. So if you say, well, I'm going to stop short of asking for this and this, you're essentially limiting what you're saying that you believe God can do. If you are saying, like the Bible says, all things, God can do all things. If you say, okay, all things, I'm going to ask and I shall receive, and I'm not going to put any limits, then that's the key. But that takes a total trust, total surrender, total surrender.
And I do know, I mean, I talk about my mom a lot. She did have a block around, she's an Aries, full disclosure. She did have a block around, oh, don't get too excited about this. What if it doesn't happen, right? Then you'll be crushed. And like, while I see the well-meaningness of that, it did teach me to not really shoot for what I truly wanted, because what if I was disappointed? And now what we're talking about is, well, she was sort of thinking that I would have to do it all. She wasn't really giving God a shot. Like,
and many parents do that. And many parents are like, I don't want you to get set up for disappointment. But the piece that's missing, like you just said so beautifully, is you teach your children, you alone, that's not possible because we're humans and we're limited. But with God, in alignment with the divine, anything is
possible. Anything is possible. And I am living proof, India. I always talk about how I feel like, I used to say I'm the luckiest person on the planet, but it's not really luck. You're really manifesting with the divine when you allow yourself to open up to things like this. Really allow yourself to open up, like, what do you really want?
Right.
You've got the Black Amex, man. You've got the right, like the unlimited charge card.
Yeah.
You're gonna go to In-N-Out Burger? No, nothing. Right. I love In-N-Out Burger. Just saying. Or you're gonna go to some fabulous, right? Sometimes you go to In-N-Out Burger because it's just good, but sometimes you don't, because if that's too low vibration for you, or we're talking about food, like you want to get big, you want to have good energy flowing through you. So what is it, right? So
it's beautiful what you just said about recognizing that was your mother's limitation, even though it was out of love. Because if we look at what's really holding us back, what mentally is it? It's always going to go to someone else's fear. Because as a pure being and pure form, you don't have any of that. It's always going to be put in, even if it was from someone well-meaning who was trying to protect you. It's always something that was put in on a human level. That's a block to that.
Right, and so good transition here, back to here, because when we're talking about the divine masculine sort of being in the low vibration, or being in the earth 3D vibration, right? That's really truly what we're seeing in this reading here. And in a very high way, right? Hierophant is like respected, Six of Wands, somebody who is really like sort of in this very successful position, somebody who is, really reaping the rewards. But, I gotta say, I'm kind of like on this team instead of this team. All right. I prefer to be manifesting all that I want versus I always feel like Eight of Pentacles is really like the very detaily work of getting $1 at a time or bringing in abundance. And this is like, to me, this is a mindset of it's hard to make money. That's what this feels like to me when I look at it. Like, it's hard to make money. And if that's your mindset, guess what? It's hard to make money. I mean, that's really what you're going to do. And I like this card now, Ten of Swords down here, of ending that kind of limitation on your creativity, on anything that you want, you can manifest that. The universe is trying to remind you today, Lionsgate, this is the day of aligning with big. What is it that you want? What do you want? It doesn't have to be like, I want to be a billionaire. It can be like, I want to be put in a position where I can help other people all the time. Right. I want to do that. I want to be, Doctors Without Borders, Mother Teresa. I want to do all that. And you know how those people do it? It's because all of their earthly stuff is taken care of, so they don't worry about that anymore. When they're worried about where's the rent check coming from, you get more worry about where's the rent check coming from, okay?
And you can release the worry by turning that over as part of your manifestation. I want to serve my soul purpose all the time, and to be supported in abundance from you, God, with that. Amen. So thank you for supporting me and giving me all the resources I need as I serve my soul purpose all the time.
Amen to that. And the interesting part, I keep going back to this Hierophant because it's Taurus energy, it's grounded energy, but he is representing spiritual purpose in a grounded sort of way. And so there's a couple ways you can take that. You can take that as this person is serving their higher purpose because all of their earthly needs are being met. Great, right? Like that's an elevation of the divine masculine or your divine partner's energy, because all of that manifestation level has happened. You're manifesting on a higher level, and you again are the lighthouse and shining your light so that they can look up and go, oh wow, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, they're watching you do it. They're watching you make it a reality.
So let's see now as we move, what's the energy from messages to you from your divine partner here? I'm just going to put these out and then I'm going to talk about them together as a group. I don't normally do that, but I feel like I want to do that right now. So they also have other people. And, like I said, my mom was very well-meaning. She wasn't saying those things to me to keep me down. But inspiration, this is a message to you. They want you to know they are feeling inspired to do their best work, okay? They're feeling inspired. There's Libra energy for you, India. They're inspired to do something that is meaningful to them, has purpose for them. This is very purposeful, okay? This is a calling. This is about having a calling. And so they are focused on that right now and focused on doing what is good and right for them, which you might not be necessarily in relationship at this moment. Also, they want you to know there are other people that are causing issues in terms of blocking the manifestation of the two of you coming together. Other people having opinions about this, other people like you can't, just like what we just said, like, why are you trying to be in relationship with this awesome divine feminine? It could blow up in your face. Don't be too excited about it, right? Like these kinds of messages, they're going to overcome that though. Chariot energy, really getting into the Chariot, and I like the two coming together here, moving forward as one. So this is a challenge to them right now, overcoming blocks that they have on the 3D plane with other people in their way, in terms of being in relationship with you, also their own money and their finances. We're talking a lot about abundance, and I had no idea we're going to talk about that today. So Two of Pentacles, how is this unfolding? There's going to be some stuckness here. You're already transcending, you're doing your work, so okay. And we're going to get, wow, I like this Aquarian energy here. If someone in this connection is, how we always talk about things expanding into the devil energy, right? All work and no play make Jack a dull boy. There's a little bit of that too. They can get so enamored with this earth-based success that it blocks anything moving forward, right? They're allowing other people to be in their ear talking about it. And that is what's giving them like, well, maybe if I just made another $100,000 this year, maybe if I just, there's this whole energy of like, it is about this flow, but what is the flow really about for them? King of Swords here, really getting clear about what it is they want and knowing that you are not, I don't know, available, not available, whatever it is, but it is becoming available. So for some of you, there is this real justice, King of Swords, of like cutting away anything that is blocking the connection. And a lot of it is earth-based. It is around other people. It is around money. It is around things that they're not able to clear right now because they're not in that vibration, not as high as you. Two more here for how this is unfolding. Oh my goodness, I love this. So the cool thing here is when you're already clear, right? You're doing this manifesting of Ace of Pentacles, Three of Wands. When they get to this level, Sun, Hanged Man. So it might look like they're still stuck here, but this is looking at things from a different perspective. It is seeing, oh, okay, now I understand why I needed to clear out and get success on this earth plane, because I was feeling like I wasn't good enough to be in relationship. I was feeling like I couldn't bring her or him all the things I wanted to, but now Sun, outcome is Sun. Being able to shine a light for yourself on, oh, this other person might not care if I'm, but I'm clear. They do care about that. They do care about being in this spiritual place of enlightenment and coming from this earth-based place of Hierophant. I like this card because it is, go ahead, India. It is giving them.
You know what I'm hearing there too, where it's like there's this manifestation power in the physical. So they're going, oh, I'm aligned with more abundance. So then they see, oh, this happened with my job. Oh, I'm aligned with having a better place to live. This happens. And that's like the sort of training wheels of the manifestation. And now with the Sun, they're saying like, oh, I can align with anything, including this partner, including this love, including this. And it's taking those training wheels off, taking those limitations off and saying, oh, I can have anything, which is a gradual realization through that Hangman.
That really is beautiful. That is what the Hangman is all about. Oh, yes, look at this. Wow. Okay. So before I turn it over to India, I just want to finish this up with these the four Romance Angels cards that I always get. Getting to know each other, retreat, reconciliation. So there is a connectivity here, like you said, India. This is really all about your divine partner coming to some clarity around what's going on for them. And it has been, if we want to say about the 3D issues, there has been, I didn't get the Emperor, but let it go of control issues has been a thing. It's like, I don't have enough abundance to bring to her or him. I don't have enough of this. I don't have enough of that. And it's like, those are control issues. Those are trying to be in control of the manifesting. And like I said with my mom, one day it's no longer your choice, right? One day it's going to present itself in the retreat and reconciliation, coming together again because of the high vibration that they are working on. Like, they're getting clear about this. I love the Hangman here. I usually don't like the Hangman, but I like it here, right?
He looks extra glowy. He looks extra enlightened there.
He does, and he's with the King of Swords. The King of Swords makes plans for the future, is super clear about what they're doing. And so the fact that the Hanged Man comes and then the outcome is the Sun card. So again, collapsing timelines, things are coming to them, and you have been a leader and are a leader. And so today, manifesting in your highest purpose of everything you want, being in alignment with the loving relationship in the pure abundance and all of those
today. And that Ace of Pentacles card, that gate, like the Lion's Gate, like today, walking right through that gate to be in the land of that Ace of Pentacles, to be there where that gift is.
And the outcome card is Leo.
Absolutely.
That's
Lion's
Leo.
Gate. Lion's Gate.
That's amazing. So I'm sorry. So go ahead, India.
Oh, no, thank you so much. And thank you for letting me interject things here and there. And that was a beautiful reading. That was, I mean, everything. And when you got the letting go of control issues card, what came to me was trust, moving into that trust. They're moving into that divine relationship where it's like being able to move out of, I just have to be on my own. Because for so long, you know, the counterpart has had to be on their own, had to figure everything out on their own, had to be of their own wits and everything, especially if it's a masculine. And to shift into that, being able to trust, let go, and what a relief for the masculine. What a relief, to be like, I can trust. Oh, I just get this sense, oh gosh, I got the spirit energy, and I just got this sense of like the trust fall and being able to release and lean back and feel caught. And that's the feeling that the collective is giving me that they're getting right now. That kind of, I'm held. I can trust this, but they're still getting used to that. But that's amazing. Amazing. Okay, so I'm just going to see what comes out for us. Thank you. This is the Energy Oracle, Sandra and Taylor. And this is just for this group here. So coming into that divine connected power with the solar plexus, coming into your full power. This is like you can do anything. And it's through that divine connection coming straight in and finding that center within yourself and feeling like,
train whistle, Indy. I just heard a train whistle.
Synchronicity. And through that power, anything becoming possible, including doors opening, doors to abundance, doors specifically to value, so everything you value just coming into you, everything that you're aligned with, everything you want, everything, it's like everything you could possibly want. And then some coming in. Angel of Strength just flew out, but I really feel this being that Leo energy, Lionsgate energy. It's like coming in, and it's just like, this is strength comes from being loved divinely. So this is from your divine connection. The message here is you're receiving everything you could need, want, the power, the abundance, the provisions, the resources, the strength through that divine connection. So anytime now when you find yourself looking for something in the world, okay, I can stop right now. I'm not going to look for it in the world. I'm going to look for it from the divine, align with it, and then see it reflected in the world. Because first it's going to be given to me in that connection within, and then I'm going to see it without, in that endless stream of cornucopia, that endless stream of abundance just coming in. I always get that endless stream image with this, because it's just streaming in all the time. Just everything you could possibly need. Beautiful. So I'm going to go to the Power of Surrender deck, which is so good for helping us release anything that might be still in the way. So if there's anything that still needs to be surrendered, given up, sometimes this can be triggering because it's like, hey, I didn't know I still had that. But, Spirit is always telling the truth. I always am like, what are we going to get here? It's a roulette. So what do we still need to release? What do we still need to surrender? Anything that needs to be let go of? Well, here we go with the trigger. Surrender your desire to control people. To control other people.
Yeah.
You know, right?
Emperor. I'm so sure we get the Emperor today.
Oh, yeah, there we go. It's like the Emperor. Being over-controlling can sabotage relationships. To more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. So this is just saying anything with anyone, and this could be, anyone in your 3D reality that you are feeling this kind of, why can't they be this way, or they just need to get on board with me, or if I just do this. No, it's just releasing any kind of external control. Something else we need to surrender to Spirit. Just completely surrender it all to God. Once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal or with a person, turn the situation over to the divine. Let Spirit work its magic for you. And Mary Jo was talking about, when you just sort of have to cut and detach, from someone. And this can be triggering because it can be like, well, I'm abandoning this person, or there's guilt. What the mind does, the really quick, easy way to shift out of the mind's guilt is to say, well, there's two things. First, you can say, I am releasing this person to their journey with God. I'm not abandoning them. If it's your masculine, whoever it is, I'm not abandoning them. I'm releasing them to their individual journey with God, and I'm honoring them in that journey. And at this time, they need to do that journey on their own. And I'm going to honor that by doing what I need to be doing, and by shining more brightly and asking God, please use me as a light. Please use me as a beacon for this person to bring them closer to you, God, and to bring them more into themselves. And the second thing you can do is you are now a divine embodiment. You are an embodiment of God. You are the individual expression of God through you fully, because you've removed those blocks. You remove those things that were in the way, like Rumi says, just removing the blocks to love. You've done that to such a large degree. You are an embodiment of that divine energy. You're an embodiment of God's energy. So to put God's energy into something that is basically a bottomless pit right now, because it's not I don't want to say worthy. It's just not, it's not in vibration with that love right now. It's doing other things. That is a waste of divine energy to keep on, there are those people that you're struggling with or working with or being around that it's like, this person is, I'm seeing progress, like things are happening. It's making a difference. My energy is making a difference. Then there's people, where it's like, this is not making a difference. This is just a bottomless pit. That's no longer your resources. That's no longer your energy. That's divine energy. And you cannot, God will not allow you to waste or, to spend that energy in that direction. That's when you say, I release this person to God, not permanently, just to their journey. And I trust that God is doing what needs to be done. So we got, okay, this beautiful divine circus oracle.
I love that deck.
I know, I do too. Go fish. And it's a number 9. I'm just going to see what this says because I haven't drawn this card a lot. It's a kind of a new one here.
It's so beautiful.
Sometimes what you want is right in front of your nose, waiting to be recognized. At other times, what you want is more like a treasure hidden within the depths of your oceanic being. You have to go diving deep to find what you desire. What you most want, need, desire, and crave has been bubbling up from within you. It's rising up from the depths, and it's time to discover an inner treasure. So what that's saying is, are you clear on what you actually do want? Because like we were saying before, you're going to manifest it, particularly today, particularly now through the end of the week. You will be manifesting it. It will show up in your reality, getting that spirit energy confirmation. They really want me to emphasize that. So just knowing, hey, this is kind of like a time to show you just how powerful that divine manifestation is. So whatever you're in vibration with right now, it's going to show up in your physical reality. So be clear. Do I know what I really want? Go diving. If you're not clear, go deep, go diving. Say, what do I really want? I've been thinking this is what I really want all this time, but what did I base that on? And just sort of making sure you're clear on what you do want, because the divine will give it to you. Yes. So now we're going to ask for a message from Archangel Raphael. Thank you. Archangel Raphael for this group. Okay, this is, it goes back to what Mary Jo was saying about food. Evidently that message, Mary Jo, was really important. Archangel Raphael is backing you up. It's the only Archangel deck I brought, and now I know why, because it's completely backing that up. About nutrition. I turn my eating over and ask you to guide me to foods and beverages that are fulfilling and support my ideal health. So that's more important than we may give credit to. It's not just a little thing about our bodies. It's everything. It's having everything be in alignment. Because again, the body is the physical reflection of that energy. And so what do you want? What are you? And how do you want to see that show up in your reality? Okay. All right. And then that is going to draw in, the people that surround you, the situations that surround you. Oh, wow. This is so perfect. This is the Mermaid, Myths and Mermaids deck. And this is Microcosm Seascape. It's very similar to the Tower. The difference is that what's happening in the Tower here, this storm, the person here is completely protected from it. It's in a microcosm. So it's not going to touch you. You are going to see it. You're going to experience it. You're going to know it's happening, but you're protected because you're in this high vibration. So what this is talking about, it's twofold. One, it's talking about the partnership. You are connected to your divine partner. So they are going through a lot, like Mary Jo was talking about, of transition, of change from that like pentacles earthly to the spiritual. There is a lot of that conflict going on that end, a lot of struggle, a lot of inner struggle. You are feeling that because you're connected to this person. You're going to feel it on some level. And, being aware of that helps. But you are protected from it. You are held apart from it. It's not going to take you down, suck you in, anything like that. It's like it's in this little container. The second meaning to that is that, with this Lionsgate energy, with what's happening on a planetary or cosmic or I don't know how big, universal level, things are changing in the world. You're going to see shifts all around you. You're going to see all the people around you reflecting these changes. So you may witness a lot of people around you going through crisis. You may have to make a huge transition yourself as part of this. So that's just saying, yes, you're going to see, and we've gotten the message of this for so long in readings. Yes, you're going to see all this happening. Yes, you're going to experience it, but you're protected. Just remember that. reinforce that, align with it. Thank you for protecting me. Thank you for keeping me, focused and in alignment with my divine mission, my divine family, my divine higher self, and God, and my service. And that will keep you, held apart from all of that. So I'm just actually called to pull just one more, and we'll close this, but just one more of these. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Wow, another microcosm. There's 2 microcosms in this deck. That's really interesting, and they both came out. And I need my book for this one. Okay, because this one is microcosm sea monsters. There's only 2 that say microcosm, and they both come out. How interesting! Because I thought it was done.
India, we were talking about how the divine partner that's leading sort of is. I don't want to say elevate. I don't want it to be like a hierarchy thing, because it's really not. But it's just sort of like you're moving more into that energy of being the leader and being in that place, and the other person really going through a lot of stuff that you've already gone through, right?
Yes, exactly. Well, and yes, and you are going to re-experience things now with this timeline collapse thing. You're going to re-experience things now, new beginnings and all that, but you're going to experience it from a different perspective. So you may feel like something that would happen that would trigger you, and that's what this is about too, is not going to have that same triggering effect, but you're going to have the opportunity to look and go, oh, wow, that a year ago I would have done this. 2 years ago I would have done this, but now it's completely different. That is by no accident.
And I want to say something, like I totally made a mistake here, but it's not, there's no mistakes, right? So
Right.
When I called this Lionsgate Twin Flame Energies, it's 8/8/2017 is what I wrote a year ago, right? A year ago today. And this is 8/8/2018. And if you do the numerology of 8/8/2017, it is 8, 8, and 1, or a 10, right? Down to 1. 8/8/11.
Yeah.
So we are essentially the 1 and the 11s. It's 107 here. We're probably going to be right at like 111. Like these ones, all of these synchronicities are continuing to happen. And there is no, it's not 8/8/2017. It's 8/8/2018. But when you just said 1 year ago, it is almost like you're watching totally from a distance. Think about where you were a year ago. Think about where you are now, and really see the transformation that has already happened to you. Because, when you do transformation, a lot of it's not like tower death all the time. It's very incremental. Right? And where I was in August of last year and where I am now is worlds different. We didn't even know each other last year at that time.
Absolutely. A whole different world. And yet, if you look at last August versus this August, everyone watching this, you're going to see parallels between those 2 Augusts. And you're going to go, oh, wow, I was beginning this other new thing back then, and now I'm beginning this new thing. Or I was at this point, with something, and now I'm at this point. And you're going to see where things are kind of, coming together so that you can go, oh, wow, it's all the same thing. And now is the point where
right? Last year, 8/21 was the American eclipse, the eclipse that came across the U.S. in a very strong way. And in many ways, like you're saying, this is sort of the tying up of the things that were started.
Yes.
Landscape kind of trails off on, right, the 11th?
The 11th. Mm-hmm.
Finish what you're saying with that card.
Oh, no. This card is just, this kind of goes back to that go fish thing. It's just be sure you know what you do want. Because this one's about being careful not to bottle up your shadows, your fears. So just be sure that, if something comes up while you're manifesting where it's like, you do see something come into your physical reality that you attracted it and it's not what you wanted, just kind of use that as an opportunity to, oh, wow, what was that? Maybe I have something left to release, because we're never done. If somebody says like, oh, I've done all that, I'm finished with, no, that's a sign that you're not, because we're never, ever finished illuminating everything there is to illuminate. It's a constant process. If we were done, we would no longer be on the planet. So, however, that being said, about being done, the last card that wants to come out is the victory card. And it is a 10, which is a 1 for a new beginning. So this is the last message they wanted us to have today. We are victorious in the divine. The divine is victorious in us. And it is a beautiful thing. So it's just a time to celebrate and sort of revel in this, union with the divine and what's happening through you in your life. It's beautiful. And I
So
honor you, Mary Jo. Thank you for having me here. I'm just so honored, and every single person here. Thank you.
thank you for being such a wonderful partner all the time, and doing this every single time we do it, it gets better in my view. So we've been going on for a long time, so I want to stop, but thank you, India. Thank you very much. Everybody watching today, manifest, do some things to raise your vibration. That is really what you're here for. All right?
Amen.
Love to all y'all.
Thank you.